Greetings, my brothers and sisters. Peace be unto you. Assalamu alaikum. I'm going to bring light to the darkness that is happening around us. There's too much evil going on, and it's up to you and me to destroy our ignorance. Remember, the devil works in details, and the devil loves ignorance. My mission and goal is to share as much knowledge as possible, even if it's just 5 minutes at a time, as long as my message is delivered to you, and I'm very happy. Society has always been rotten, and what I'm about to show you is going to shock you, but it's nothing new. So strap on your seatbelts and let's get it. Peace.
My next guest says that he did visit the other side, was saved by a mysterious wizard. His name is Christian Davis, and his mother is Marcia Davis. What happened, Christian?
Well, I was down the beach before summer started, and the water was too cold to swim in, so I dig holes or tunnels in the sand. And this time I chose to dig a tunnel. And after it was over, I called my mom over to see and look at it. She said that was great, but you couldn't go in, it was too dangerous. So...
You went in anyway.
No, she said to get ready to go and that we'll be leaving soon. So I got my stuff together, and I noticed there was like not even a crack in the top. So when it's padded up, because I didn't want to wreck it. So and it caved in on me. And I thought usually I've been buried from the waist down maybe, and I could get out, but the more I squeezed, the more the sand compacted on me.
Yeah, so you tried to scream, and your lungs got filled with sand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened?
Well, I faded out, like, from reality, and I was just being brought up this tunnel of light, brightness, and up this tunnel I just, like, noticed parts of my life that wouldn't even occur to me to remember if I was alive.
Like what?
I saw Christmas when I was about 4 years old, and I saw my mom digging me out and my mom driving to the hospital. And then I knew that I wasn't in my body and that I was dead, close to death at least. And so then I came to the end of this tunnel and noticed there was a man that first, because of his robes and white robes and bright light, occurred to me at first as a wizard-like man. And I also saw relatives that had died that year, or such as my friend, or his name's Ryan, and he drowned in a pool. And
You saw him?
yeah,
Did he speak to you?
no, he
No?
was two. And then the wizard, without moving his mouth, spoke to me and said, "Struggle, you're too young to die, and you'll go back. It's not your time yet." And all of a sudden I opened my eyes, and I was going down this hall in the hospital to the ICU, intensive care unit.
So what made you tell? Because, you know, most kids who have this experience, unless questioned thoroughly by somebody who's interested in this kind of thing, don't tell. Why did you tell?
Well, first, I didn't remember it, but I went into the CAT scan, and by that time I was afraid of needles and everything, and I got in there, and the bright light came and said, "Nothing's gonna happen, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna go back." And I fell asleep.
So are you saying the light talked?
Yeah.
What do you make of all this, Marcia?
Well, it was interesting because the CAT scan, he was very, very upset and nervous. Almost to the point of crying. And, you know, the nurses and I tried to talk to him, and when he did go in to have the CAT scan, he was out in like 5 minutes, and the nurse said, "I can't believe it, he fell right asleep." It was about 15 minutes after that, back in intensive care, when he looked at me, and he was very calm and very peaceful, and he said, "I saw God in the machine." And I said, "What do you mean?" And at this point, he hadn't mentioned anything about a wizard. And he said, "I saw God in the machine." And I said, "Did he speak to you?" And he said, "Yes." And he said, "Everything's going to be okay. Don't be afraid." And then he continued with, "I saw God in the tunnel." And I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "There was a very bright light." And I just started to shake because I knew a little bit about near-death experiences. And very slowly the story unfolded from that point, that he saw deceased members of our family and a friend. And I just started to cry. I started to cry, because I knew it was a miracle.
And Shannon Sharpe, who has been waiting for this moment. Good morning, guys.
Man, that was scary. The Lakers barely survived a Golden State without Kelly Oubre or James Wiseman or Damian Lee or obviously Clay or KD. Man, you should be shaking in your boot. What are you doing with all that stuff?
Al Adams, Rick Barry, Wilt Chamberlain. Don't do that.
Really?
Hey, how you doing, Skip? The King. The King is here. You see what
The King?
Can you read that right there?
Le Goat?
Yeah.
I thought he was Le Ankle.
No.
I thought at halftime he needed to take a big swig of his new drink, Mountain Dew Rise,
Skip,
because he had no lift.
Skip, you be hating.
I don't know what happened to
You be
him.
hating, Skip. You be hating, and that's so unlike you, Skip. I thought you was like, you know what? I like the guy in a clutch moment, hit a big time shot, but that's not you.
What is going on there? That's a ring of my profession. You don't know nothing about that.
Okay, can we get a close-up on that? There it is.
What? I don't know nothing about
What
it.
is the profession?
Yeah, which profession are we talking about? Just look at it.
Is it a legal profession?
Of course it's legal. It's a ring of my profession.
I'm trying to read it. Okay.
It's
too many diamonds. Yeah, that's too bright. That's too bright. Well, anyway.
Oh, Mason, are you a Mason? Of course I am.
Okay.
The secret ceremony.
Well, you might as well put your pinky out when you drink your drink.
Of course I am.
Put your pinky out.
Are you involved in the secret ceremonies with the candles and the...
Everyone wears...
Anyway, the Clippers. The Clippers.
Ring, but that is impressive, Mr. O'Neal.
I don't have a championship.
Anyway, so the Clippers...
Oh, yeah, I have 4.
Those he doesn't wear. Those he doesn't wear. The Clippers. Yeah. As I was blinded by success.
Well, it's an event that's created a lot of buzz among local churches and Christian groups, the largest public satanic ceremony in history happening right here in Detroit. 7 Action News reporter Jane Park is live with us tonight. Jane, organizers went to great lengths to keep this a private, exclusive party What's up?
They really did, Dave. Now, we are standing along Grand River, and the building behind me was where guests originally came, but shortly after they were let in, they were told to go to a second undisclosed location where we're to believe that party is going on right now. The Satanic Temple made it very clear it would be their members and their guests and not our cameras that will be getting a first look at this much talked about statue. The lines ran along the graffitied walls, at least 100 people eagerly waiting for what's been kept well under wraps.
It said dress like an animal or wear horns and tails.
Some drove in from as far as upstate New York to see the Satanic Temple unveil a 9-foot-tall bronze statue of a goat-headed Satan.
It just seemed like it would be a historic event.
The guests came dressed to impress. Each paid at least $25 for a ticket. Security inside was tight. No cameras or media allowed in. No cell phones and photographs allowed. The secretive nature of the event didn't prevent a few protesters from attending.
We figured, well, if they're going to unveil a statue and show a statue, well, we're going to show the statue that beat this statue behind the scenes in reality. That's, recounted in the St. John's Apocalypse that St. Michael and his angels defeated Lucifer and his angels.
Members of the Satanic Temple, who say they stand for the separation of church and state, kept mum Saturday night, focused instead on showing their guests a good time. Some came out of curiosity, others just to appreciate the art. And they say don't knock it just because it's not your taste.
A sculpture or a piece of art or a tribute to something that they don't understand is not necessarily going to impact their religion or their beliefs.
There was so much buzz about the night, Detroit police set up outside just to make sure the Satanists and the naysayers stayed civil.
We support anyone's First Amendment right to practice whatever religion they want or to come out and protest against that, their freedom of speech. So, we're there basically to protect the rights of everyone involved.
In the end, the group made good on its promise to make this an exclusive event. Guests patient enough to make it through the line were promptly sent out the back door where outsiders can only imagine the real party awaits. A party, we're told, is supposed to last well beyond midnight. As for the statue, it could end up at the Arkansas State Capitol, where there is a Ten Commandments statue also planned. Live near downtown Detroit, Jane Park, 7 Action News.
Now, many of you may have already started putting up decorations this holiday season, but the decorations at the state capitol are turning some heads.
That's right. Religious groups set up a menorah and a nativity scene, and now a new addition. WCIA3's Mark Maxwell is live at the Capitol for us tonight. Mark, you got a look at the new statue from the Satanic Temple there today.
Yeah, Jessica, that's right. Good evening. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas and like Hanukkah here at the state capitol, and now like, winter solstice, I suppose. We have some video of the new decorations that are here at the Capitol. It was last week during the hustle and bustle of veto session when all of these holiday decorations started going up, mostly behind the scenes. Folks were busy walking through and some didn't stop to take notice. Well, it was earlier this week when we saw a new addition. There's the manger scene with baby Jesus, and there's the candlesticks and the menorah for Hanukkah. Both of those put up by religious groups. Well, those groups not too thrilled with this latest installment, a statue from the Satanic Temple of Chicago. Now, Secretary of State Jesse White's office runs the State House here and all the different facilities. A spokesman for White told me that their message, emblazoned on the front of the statue, that knowledge is the greatest gift, he said, quote, "I don't know how anyone can find that offensive." But 2 college students who study controversial or offensive monuments and statues, they came here just to see it earlier, and I caught up with both of them.
I personally am a Christian, I'm not an atheist, and I can understand how it would offend a lot of Christians, but this is it exercises the First Amendment.
I think it's a bit shocking, especially with the board up front. I would say it's a bit provocative, but I think if you're going to have, freedom of speech, this is going to happen.
We showed you the front side. On the back, there's a board. That's what he referred to there. He says the board says that religion is but myth and superstition and hardens hearts and enslaves minds. Both students did think that the sign was intended as an insult or in protest to Christianity. I talked with several state employees who work in and walk through these halls at the State House every day, and several of them, they didn't want to go on camera, but they said they found it offensive to them personally and felt that it was also sort of an insult that if Satan were to have a birthday, well, then schedule your decoration. Then don't try to upstage this Christmas or Hanukkah. But that was their feeling, and well, there's a lot of mixed reactions at the State House, but then again, there's a wide range of opinions anytime you mix politics with religion. Live at the State House, Mark Maxwell.